The experiences I've gained from being a part of this process, after I will have shared it, you'll feel or believe that you would have benefited and you would have put it into practice. So, the topic of my, or the subject, the theme, the topic of my presentation is how to ace the language and content interview the first time. Awesome. You all have to do it. Michael, you'll have to do it. Have you soon do it? Next year, this year, when? Around 2 more years?
Some months from now, sir, a month from now.
It has to be done. And if nothing else I like about this institution is that you all have to do this interview. Every other institution that I've worked at university, once you finish your courses, then you just get the paper and go about business. Here, you have to do that extra thing, which is this, and you have agreed, and so we talk about it. And I not only come from it from a theoretical perspective, I have actually been in the space in terms of being a member of the panel. Awesome. And so I can provide you and shall be providing you some things that you should do to go in the first time and come out shining like gold.
Get information.
All right, certainly. All right, before I go into some the specifics of that, let me just give you the pass rates for the interviews, the last 5 pass rates. The last 5. So there, well, we have one coming up sometime this month, but certainly the last 5. Total sitting, pass, and that's a percentage. But notice what is happening to the last column.
Drop
There
tremendously.
is a fall. I mean, the numbers clearly fluctuate, but on average, you see we have moved from 89 to 57, 22% percentage point change in terms of the pass rate. That is for the campus, and this is for all of you who you do accounts, marketing, HR, entrepreneurship, and finance. This is for all those persons for that period who do these subjects. I kind of have a bias, and I took out the accounts to have the person do accounts kind of seat. So this is for the accounts. For the same period, this is the number of persons who did accounts, this is the number of persons who passed, and notice what is happening here. It goes in the same direction as what we want to call, let us call it the university, the Kingston campus average. But in addition to that, on the next slide will show you, when you compare all the departments that are all the majors to the accounts, you see accounts is below in terms of the pass rates. The pass rates for each sitting for accounts is below 5, 14, 11, and so on, below. So that's what is happening. So how can you, so the point is, I know what stuff stack against the accountant, the person who do accounts, and what stuff stack against everybody. But let us try and fix that, because I believe with information you will be able to do better. What I don't have, but I know from experience of being in this space, is that although I have shown you the pass rate, most persons pass at least for accounts on the second sitting. They don't pass the first time. At least for accounts, I can say that is a matter of fact. Although most of the persons who sat pass, most persons pass the second time and not the first time. I have done the interview around 5 times. And of the 5 times, with the exception of 1, less than 50%, more than 50% of the persons fail the first time. Why? Well, you don't have to answer, because I suspect nobody in this room has done the interview as yet. So, but why? Let us talk about why persons are failing and how we can improve that. In doing that, we want to look at the assessment instrument that we use. The instrument has 5 sections, as it says there. Language. Marks for language is in the order that it's listed. The instrument that we use as the panelist. Language, 30 marks. Content, your major, whether it's HR, entrepreneurship, finance, marketing, or accounts, your major. And just mentioning them now. Then professionalism. The problem most persons have, people usually get 10 marks for professionalism. They come pretty up. You know it's an interview. You need to show yourself looking smart. Most persons know to do that. Practical experience, they might not. Because if you never worked in accounts or marketing or HR, you want the practical experience. But guess what? It's 5%. So if you get 0 mark, you still can pass the interview. So I'm not worried about that. And of course, appearance. People usually get full marks here and here. Usually get these marks. But guess what? When you add these together, you can't pass. Right? It's 60%. 60% you pass.
Yeah.
So let us go into the details now. Let us look at the instrument itself, the different areas. Language, 30 marks. I have this as a problem in my course the course that I teach. With the students that I teach, when I give them, I teach mostly accounting courses, but I give them assignment to write, not do accounts, to write essays. They have problems. They don't want to do it because they only want to do accounts. And they can't write accounts. When you can't write accounts, you can't talk accounts, you can't communicate accounts. Grammar. One of the biggest concerns I have among the students that I teach is the grammar. How you write your papers, your syntax. Sometimes you want to say has and you write has. Or sometimes you want to say have and you write has. Or you want to say this and you say that. A host of them. Host of things. And even if you think I don't talk properly, when I'm reading it, I know exactly what to mark and look for. And that's the problem I have. So you can't talk it, you can't write it. You can't write it, you can't talk it. And sometimes, I taught taxation last module. And I remember there's a particular student, very hyperbolic, very verbose in the language. And so I have to read the paper 3 times to understand what is being said. And I'm wondering if I'm, and I made several comments. So I have learned that the simpler it is, the better. So, because small words can say the same thing and be more effective than big words. So 30% language, persuasive. And remember, all this is not you writing. In this interview, you're not writing. You have to represent these by virtue of how you communicate to the interviewers. And students, generally, once you get, and we'll get to that slide later on, once you get here, if you get here or here, now I'm supple. But here, not so bad, but you want to be here. But most of the times, once students feel we're getting them dropping right here. And if they do bad in the content, then supple. So, content, language, 30%. Now, the biggie, marketing, HR, finance, entrepreneur, accounts. The biggie. Again, I go back to how I teach. And I have created this emphasis because I'm aware of what happens here. Every course I teach, students must do at least one assignment that they write. Write about the course. Write about your major. So it's a writing subject about accounts. Because when you can write it, and so you get to take it home, you can pull something down from Google, and that's why I made certain that you have to put it in the course container, and if it doesn't conform to the similarity index, and you fail it. It can't be borrowing person's word without giving them the credit. So persons can't talk about their major. You can't talk about it. We look at some of the recommendations, some of the things I think why this is happening. You want to go to do marketing, and you do, I don't know what marketing involves, perhaps the same stuff that the previous presenter spoke to. But you want to come and say you just want to put some numbers in. So you really can't do the numbers either properly, and you just can't talk about your subject. You can't talk about it. You can't talk about the concepts. You simply can't talk about it. Look at it. Knowledge and comprehension, application of knowledge based on current or given scenarios. And this is a problem that I have related to this. I will spend some time later talking about this example I'm going to show you. If you work in accounts, the questions that will be asked of you in the interview almost all the times about how accounts affect your job if you work in accounts. You can't talk about it, you can't discuss it, you can't say how it relates to your work. That's what I have found that why students fail the exit interview. Most students fail the first time. The next area is professionalism. As I said, people generally dress up to come and do the interviews, and usually it's not an issue. So there are two sections: display leadership, exhibition of ethics. Usually a question is asked about some ethical dilemma that you might find yourself in, and usually I find that students usually get 3, 4, or 5. Between 3 and 4 most of the time here. And practical experience, this could be half an hour, because if you never work in account, you're going to get 1. Or you're going to get 2. That is okay, because it's not the weight, the heavy weight. And it has industry professional experience. And so those are small areas, and that's the word about it. Yeah. Go ahead. Parents, go ahead.
The one for.
Which one? Practical?
Usually, the part related to display of leadership and ability.
Yes.
We usually ask about their involvement in like community
church
or
yeah.
the workplace.
Yeah, our workplace. But sometimes how the student engages space in the interview make you know that they have leadership, even though they might not have a leadership position at church, school,
right,
work,
not necessarily leadership.
how they engage in space to and what they do at work
right.
could give indication. But again, even if you never did, if out of these 2 years, 15 marks, if you get 15 marks and follow the other years, we failed. But most of the times, my experience that the students generally get more than 50% of them, more than 60% of this total year. So that is my experience. So I'm not so concerned there. The areas are language and content. And the last piece, appearance. Generally, again, persons most of the time they're coming from work, and if you don't work, you come get just a petit they come smelling nice and looking pretty. Some of the same stuff Mr. Pantan spoke about. You come and all of those eye contact. Some persons sometimes not looking so confident, but confident in terms of how they display themselves. But we'll talk about some recommendations as we go forward. People, even if you're the worst behaving person, you normally come and behave decent. So we have no concern about those. Cool. Rating scale. Now the rating scale, which I spoke, well, you will have seen there. 1 is poor, 2 is unsatisfactory, average is 3, good 4, and 5 excellent. You want to get from 3 down to 5. For all the areas, once you get from 3 down to 5 in bodies, especially in your major and content language, you want to be here. Once you're here for those, you'll pass this the first time. Remember, most persons who do these courses fail more than 50% of the time the first thing, and the pass grade, you know, that's 60%. All right. A typical interview. What is involved in a typical interview now? So the rubber meets the road. Normally, when we invite the person into the room, we ask them to sit, and usually, well, sometimes we introduce ourselves before. I am who I am, you are who you are, we introduce ourselves. And then we invite you to sit, or we might invite you to sit, and then we will have known in an event who you are. Most of the times, to increase the student comfort, we ask them to pray. Because once you start to talk about things that you're not being tested on, your comfort level increases. So at that point, at introduction, we want to increase your comfort, so we ask you to pray. Would I ever pray before? But we just ask you to pray because say something, whatever you know about praying, because it increases your comfort. Once we have passed that formality, then we're going to ask you, usually the next question is, tell us about you. Nothing to do with the interview. It has something to do with the interview, but the primary aim is to increase your comfort. And we normally generally ask the question in specific, tell us about you, name where you work, if you go to church, what you do at work. And so the answers you give now will lead us into the direction that we want to go. So let's say you work in an office and you're the accountant or you're the accounting clerk. Then the next question is, well, in view you said what you do, you might just give a synopsis of what you do, then we might probe some more exactly what you do. Because we want now to link your major, the content, to your work. And it's what you say you do that will form the basis of the questions that we ask. So we're not asking the question that you would know normally. So if you say if you don't work in accounts, then we'll be forced, have no choice, to ask some pre-prepared questions. Like, for example, what are the components of financial statement? First year, I only can answer. So I don't really remember that one. You want to pass and you want to come back? All right. And we ask another question about sometimes it doesn't mean though that if you work in accounts, we won't ask you some pre-prepared questions. It doesn't mean that. But I'm saying most of the times the questions that are asked of you are relating to the same job you tell us you do. Especially if you work in accounts. That is if you work in accounts. And I say accounts because I am in the accounting field. But the same thing would be true for entrepreneurship and HR and marketing. If you work in HR, then the questions that will be asked of you invariably, how what you have learned at school that has helped you to advance your work at your work. I remember, not a young man, a big man like me, sitting down when interviewing him, and I said, man, I was really embarrassed for him. I've seen persons go to see, in fact, I've seen persons cry in that interview. Big man, it's a test. And understand the nerves will be there. But guess what? We're not asking, the aim is not to fail you. The aim is not to fail you, the aim is to pass and get out. Notice I showed you earlier that almost all the persons who start passed, but they have had to sit it the second time, my second time. So I don't know, Mrs. Estish, I don't know if you have to pay to be the second time. I don't know if you have to pay.
No, you don't.
You don't.
But the third time you will have to pay it over.
The third time. But the fact is you don't have to do it a second time. And the preparation, and we'll talk about some things that you need to do. So pretty much that's the interview, sometimes with class. If you are engaged in the process, the interview might last 15 minutes. But if you're not engaged in the process, get you out there within 5. Can you waste your time? Next person. And of course, you know your result before you leave, because each person put the breakdown and will aggregate it and will tell you get 50, 60, 70, 80, 100. Go back and you go ball and you vex up and you vex with me because you think I ask you a question. I don't ask that question and you never provide yourself, never prepare yourself. The point is, you have to, and well, we look at some recommendations, I don't want to outdo that, so moving along.
Sir,
yes.
From your 5 times being the interview, have you seen anybody get 95%?
No.
No?
I have seen students, in fact, I can remember a young man and a young lady at different points. When they're done reading off what they did at work and how it impacted what they have learned and what they did at work and how they're able to make that association, I was in, I actually, you hear about the halo effect?
Right.
You just want to just give them 100%. Just want to give them 100%. You want to give them 100%. I can't recall what the scores have been. I can't say now that I've seen students get 90 or 80. I can't say that. But the point is, for me, because it's whether they get a C, a 60 or 65, A plus or C plus or B plus are not important. It's just a pass.
All right.
But I know students have done so well that I am very impressed.
You?
Me personally, and In fact, I practice say this of all the interviewers because we normally, once we interview, we sit out the room and we have a discussion about you. We share what we think about you. And 2, 3, 4, and sometimes we have somebody on the Skype from main campus. We talk about whether you're stupid or you're smart. Or you need to come again, of course. And we're not saying so in a way to make you, the fact is you're not going to hear this. But we have to have this because we are sharing our assessment with other persons about you. And no, we're not think so. No, we're not think so. Oh, yeah, we think so. And trust me, we almost all the while, always will think that you're smart if you're smart. Or you're stupid if you're stupid. We are professional in our own right, and so we can appreciate it. So I have sat in on a finance in students who major in finance before, but most of the students who are sitting for are the accounts major. I think I did it once or twice for finance, which I can because I also teach. I've not taught it here, but I've also taught financial courses, financial management and so on. So I can. No. So the typical interview is that it could interview. So some suggestions as to what I think you can do to aid passing the first time. The idea is to pass the first time. Be able to communicate using the jargons of your major. You know the marketing terms, you know the entrepreneurship term. Show off your knowledge. Now is the time to show off your knowledge. You know them, you know the accounting term. And it's okay to use them. At this space, it's okay to use them. Those are things that we look for. And if you use them full, we know too. So, important. And next suggestion, be able to discuss, and I said it before, how what you have studied in your major relates or is linked to your present or former. So present if you're working in accounts, or former if you worked in accounts. You might not be working now, or you might not be working in accounts now, but the idea is, and I use accounts, or it could be HR, it could be whatever the major is, be able to make that link. Because once you're able to make the link, so remember when you go to an interview, think about, so let's say you're working wherever in the accounts department. Think about, it could be 5, it could be less, it could be more. Think about 5 things, 6 things that you have learned, you have studied, whether from first year, because it doesn't matter the year, whether it's first year, intermediate, or advanced. Think about 5 things that you have studied, that you have used in your job, and have a discussion, talk to yourself in the mirror. Talk to yourself in the mirror, and then you come, and then same thing, because we ask you about your work, and you will tell us your work, it's not we tell you say you work there, so we ask you about that. Importantly, I hope I have this one there. The next one I have here is use of correct grammar and general language rule. With the right stuff, and no disrespect to anybody specifically. I've been here 3 years now, and students write poorly. Poorly. In fact, the last module I taught, last module, taxation, my student took me to task. Because there's no other lecturer, sometimes there's like one lecturer. No, make them do what me and ask them to do. I said, well, guess what? And I never make it. The universal rule says you must use the APA standard. You must do this, you must do that, you must do that. And if you plagiarize, you will fail the course. Because you are put it into Trinity and run it through there. And students love to plagiarize. Let me tell you how much students love to plagiarize or copy. I give students in the day stream, the present day stream, an assignment. I made a mistake. I give them a question with the answer in the back of our book. And the only them going there, not the only them, after that's going there and copy the answer, copy it wrong. Copy the answer and copy it wrong. And everybody will see the wrong answer.
How you do that?
And then they must say, and I said, but clearly you don't appreciate that my head big enough on the head. I said, no, what they actually do is that once we give them any assignment or for grade, it's not going to be one with the answer in the book. I'm no more aware. So students, you know, and you see them. So the point is, so I'm kind of stray from this, but the point is correct grammar. You don't have to use big words to you. Be very simple in your expression. Be very simple in expression, and I've not seen it much. but students use they call it the WhatsApp language in their writing. I am a perfectionist when it comes to your grammar, marking your scripts, in terms of the language content. Oh, things gone. Oh, one. Okay, right, one. All right. I just want to make sure that I finish this, soon finish. Not many more slides. Cool. Here we go. All right. Number 4, and these pretty much I rephrase them from the templates that I showed you earlier. Express your ideas clearly and concisely. All the big words, man, if you're not even certain about them. I work in Halfway Street. I'm an accounting clerk. I work from 5 in the morning till 10 in the night. You have big words and you really are muddy the water. I mean, that's what I appreciate that they can ask you over and then you will get flustered because they ask you, but you have said some things that I don't understand. And importantly, be confident. And I know because in exam, sometimes you might be the most confident person. It happens to the best of us. And you go into an exam space and you kind of win. But we do everything to increase your comfort. Take the deep breaths. Important point is not here to suggestion. This is what I had an extensive discussion with Mrs. Estelle recently, but I've observed this is happening. And I tried to get from her, why is this happening? But she gave me an argument, but I get a different argument from somebody else. I have some argument slightly different from somebody else. Students, you can do some of your major courses before the major or the final year. When that happens, so for example, it's a 4-year program you're on. So if you do, let me say it a different way, make every attempt to do the courses as is outlined to you in the whichever document you get, booklet. Don't jump courses unnecessarily. Because in jumping, you're going to jump to some of your final year courses earlier. And then when you have to do them, especially when you put them in the shelf or upon the shelf. And you forget them because that's how they learn. So they choose to learn in silos. So the prerequisite that you don't have to do the course, and then come to the class and say, what am I teaching about teach me that? Lie. The prerequisite is what you use to do a practical course. But yes, you say you never learned, and sometimes you do the prerequisite 5 modules ago or 10 modules ago, and you forget it. But you have it. And so when you come, it's as if the teacher, myself or whoever, is teaching you the thing for the first time, because you never remember. So you learn in silo and don't realize that it's a continuation of the course. So that is 1. 2, the critical issue though is make every attempt to do your major courses in your final year. The information will be current, especially if you don't practice. Because I'm not sure why that is allowed or why it happens. In fact, I spoke to the acting director yesterday and she suggested possible reasons why we're following friends. And friends, but you can't do the easier subject first or do the absolute and if the others do whatever, however. If you do your majors close to the time when you have to do your exit interview, you will be sharper. And your revision or your preparation is less because you did these courses recently. They're in the forefront of your mind. So that's a recommendation I am making or a suggestion. Don't skip courses. Follow the template that is given to you in terms of first year, second year, third year, final year as far as possible. Because your exam will be about, your interview exam will be about your major, not anything else. So, I think that's the last slide before this one. Persons are being asked, and this 14 slides are perhaps won't go through the other 50 that I have for time.
Question.
Blessings.
Does this grade goes towards the GPA?
No.
GPA, no. But if you don't pass this interview, you're not graduating, you're not going anywhere, not doing anything.
Okay. And the panel that interviews students are more comprised of.
Alright, so what will happen normally you must have, well, to the best of my knowledge, you must have somebody representing Mandeville from the head space.
Yes.
Okay.
Whether they are live or on Skype.
Right.
So somebody from Mandeville, and the person it will be their area of expertise. So, as a matter of fact, a different way. All the persons who, well, not all, but if there are 3 persons, at least 2 will be expert in a particular field. Would have had their credentials, masters, and so on, and upward within the particular space. So yes. So these persons might also, invariably would have been practitioners. And I say that because I can't speak for all, whether it is HR or finance. I can't speak to all of them because, like I said, I started with perhaps a finance one day because they needed an extra person and I was available and they used me. And I still have the background. But for their accounts, it's usually persons who are practitioners and have at least a master's. Because I'm not sure if you're aware, if you don't have a master's, they can't teach at the university. So you must have at least a master's to be sitting in that room.
Right. Next question. When I'm asked these questions, you ask me a question and I give you my answer. And based on your feedback, it's saying that what I'm saying might not be completely right. At that point in time, what do I do? Go to the next question or do I have a chance to appeal?
No, we won't give you a list of questions for you to answer. The questions we'll ask the questions as the questions as whether you provide us a response that we need to follow up on, or if we have a list of questions, we might ask a question, and what sometimes we'll do is we try not to redirect your thinking if you provide a clear wrong answer, because we don't want your feedback.
Okay.
It's an exam. So what we'll try and sometimes we try and provide you a slight different spin. So for example, if we ask about the elements of accounts, just loosely, and you say there are 20, we might remind you what the 5 elements are and leave it.
Right.
Because we don't want you to feel bad because you have made a boo-boo anyways, you have said 20 when in fact it's 5.
Right.
So again, it will depend on who is in the room, but we're not in the space to correct you per se. We're there to test you to examine the extent to which you appreciate this major.
So there'll be question, answer.
And sometimes some clarification we'll provide and then we'll move on. Yeah, but we're really not don't use space to tell you what the correct thing is or ought to have been. But sometimes based on, and sometimes too, again, as I said, perhaps an halo effect might be used, because if we feel you're going good and you provide an answer that is out of work, we might kind of redirect it to allow you to see if you understand from some other perspective, and we'll move along. But we'll not say, if we say something wrong, we're not going to say, oh, it is 10 and not 7. It's not necessarily what we're doing there. It's just because we're testing your knowledge.
Right, I just wanted to know about the atmosphere would have been if it's just 2 persons and here, okay, what's the name? My name is Alex Johnson. I just wanted to know if it was that or it was more like.
Every attempt is made to make you comfortable in this space. So it is, one, we don't want it to come across as adversarial, because interviews can feel that way.
Right.
And it's a test. I will know your nerves are going to be edgy. So we try to use the first few minutes to increase your comfort as far as is possible. And as you continue to talk, and the more you talk, especially if you came prepared and is knowledgeable, the more comfortable you become. And you something you can feel the vibes. There's some feeling in you can feel that you're doing good, and once you're doing good, we'll allow you. And we'll sit there sometimes. We're just impressed. We're impressed because you are presenting quality in your representation of what we reasonably anticipate or expected.
Are students' grades?
I'm not sure to ask you.
Are student grades provided to the panel?
No, the grades. Grades?
No
grade. No, because whether whether you would have passed all courses or not is irrelevant. What we need for you to do is pass this interview, which is 60%. But certainly I've seen students, I'm sure I've seen students getting 70 and 80. I can't remember what the highest was. And I've seen most students have to get 50 something.
Okay.
Remember I tell you, most students, because most students are their passes is at re-6 that you would have passed and not the English. So you get, once you get 54, 50, 59, you can't have nothing for you, 58, 50, and I've seen 40.
I know 95.
I can't recall that I've seen that, but since it's not an A plus or an A minus, just 3 marks, it's what? Yes, yes.
Yes, a suggestion, like sometimes they ask a question, don't just give a one-word answer or one sentence and leave it. Especially something that you know about, talk about it. Tell us a little more so that we know you know about that thing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they just give you one word, one sentence, and that's it.
Doesn't
So
say
it would suggest you don't really know about it. But if you know about it, just expound on it. And then it will prevent us from asking you too many more questions.
Yes, show your knowledge, show off. It's your space to show off.
Right, the final question. Is there an average time frame, or is there a time frame that you give to one person? It's just.
But I said it earlier. If you are representing yourself in this space to cause us to be,
Right.
we'll perhaps have you there for half an hour. I mean, we have about 50 minutes to try and keep, but we might be in there with you because we just want to have a conversation with you.
Right.
But if you're not smart,
Right.
we just want to get you out quick, I will feel like you can't waste your time.
Alright. Okay. I guess I would have
But
to-
it doesn't mean absolutely that if somebody comes out within 5 minutes that they have not done good.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that. I'm just saying,
Yes.
generally
I understand.
speaking, yes? We have about 15 minutes that we want to talk, especially if we have a long list of students to interview on that day. So I want to get about 15 minutes. But sometimes I know I have sat with students and I am just impressed. I just want to hear the student talk about what they have learned and how that impacted them job. And there are students who
You don't want to punish them too much.
sure. Yes, it's more like you don't want to punish them. You know, it's just shut. Just shut. Okay, that's it. Any others?
No.
All right. Sounds like that's it. So, you have a question? All right. I'm done then. Thanks for your time.
Everyone.
Okay.
I'd like to thank Mr. Delahaye. Thank you for coming, sir. This interview presentation was one that we had surrounded our seminar on, and it was very well received.
That's it.
I'm sure everyone would have had in-depth information about this nerve-wracking exit interview, that we must pass, right? So thank you so much, sir. And please take this token of appreciation from us and the BASSO Club for being here today. All right.
Thank you.